Hello everyone. In this video, we will walk through the main features of Hillstone Network's XDR solution, iSource, and use a mining activity as an example to demonstrate how iSource detects and responds to threat events. Part 1, let's take an overall look at iSource. When we log into the platform, we can see the navigation bar on the left side. We will begin with Monitor. The first part is the favorite analysis, which allows you to subscribe to threat events or assets you are interested in. The related statistics will be shown on this page, and they are from different perspectives. We also have an analysis page on assets, providing an overview as well as some detailed information. By typing IP, domain, MD5, or SHA-256 in the search bar, it will start the global search with just one click and present results to users. Next is service monitoring. Access topology and application monitor are supported in our newest release, version 2.0 R8. The former shows network topology, which means how each asset accesses the others. So it offers more insights into traffic. The latter shows the usage of different applications with names, types, or subtypes. Here you can see detailed information about the traffic of different applications. For the situation dashboard, here are all kinds of monitors, and you can click it to see a full screen. Next, risk. We consider a combination of assets, threat events and vulnerabilities and organize the data from the risk perspective. Click to see the risk report, threat events, kill chain stage distribution, and vulnerabilities. In threat, we provide an overview of threat events based on key scenarios and statistics. The event list lists all the threat events detected by iSource, and you can see details such as threat information. Basic information like source IP, source port, destination IP, and destination port. We also have evidence information and process information. Then let's go to the vulnerability. We provide vulnerability reports on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. And users can add scanners to discover vulnerabilities. Next, we'll discuss how to automatically respond, another fundamental part of XDR. The playbooks help respond to different kinds of threats without manual intervention. These playbooks ensure that the actions set by users are uniformly executed. We predefine several useful templates, and you can also make one depending on your needs. After setting the trigger event or events, you can click the Add button here to add actions. For example, Intelligence Action checks the intelligence of IP, domain, URL, or file. And you can define an action to deploy a firewall policy or block one or some IP addresses on the integrated enforcement points. Platform action includes tickets and email alerts. Tickets allow you to define a manual processing procedure, and email alerts allow the contact persons to receive prompt notifications. In the response record, you can see whether the responses succeed or why they don't. And for the linked entity, including enforcement points like firewalls, and other security devices. Now we not only support Hillstone Network's security devices, as you can see, NGFW, IDS, IPS, HSM, WAF, ADC, Cloud Edge, and Cloud Hive, but also start to support third-party firewalls in version 2.0 R8. And the policy profiles define how the third-party devices could be integrated. We have some predefined policy profiles here. For threat intelligence, we support Hillstone Network's Cloud Vista and VirusTotal as intelligence centers. Next is about assets. You can manually add new assets here, but we also support asset detection by scanning the specified IP segments. Then you can decide whether to import the assets detected or not. The rule engine is how iSource detects threat events. We have some default engines and some analysis engines for analyzing threat logs and general logs and identifying abnormal traffic. We also support defining your own analysis engine. You can define its trigger rule, trigger condition, and rule description. The threat events that occur on a host during the detection cycle may be at different stages of the kill chain. So we also provide the kill chain analysis rule engine to correlate and analyze the threat events and thus derive a more accurate threat analysis. Last, we are going to talk about the log. The log parsing rules define how to parse logs like syslog. We provide some default templates like Huawei and TopSeek. Also, the users can define their own log parsing template. So far, we've known about the key aspects of the Hillstone Network's XDR solution, iSource. Coming up next is Part 2, a demonstration of the detection and response of mining activity. We plan to simulate the crypto mining activity on a Windows host with the help of mining activity packets and a packet player. The Intelligence Center's data serves as the foundation for iSource's detection of malicious behavior, and iSource detects malicious activity by leveraging its threat sensor, SBDS. Then it deploys the IP address of the compromised host recorded in the PKEP packet to the IP block list of its enforcement point, next-generation firewall, so that the firewall will block the traffic from the compromised to stop further malicious movement. Before we start to do that, let's see what the system looks like before the mining activity takes place. As you can see on the iSource Management Web UI, there are no threat events within an hour. Also, no IP blocks on the next-generation firewall too. So let's come to the first step. As introduced in the previous video, iSource recognizes threat events through the rule engines. That's why we make sure the rule engines have been correctly set first. In the rule engine, we turn on the mining activity engine to detect all kinds of mining activities of hosts. Additionally, since our threat sensors classify mining activities as malware activities, we need to enable the malware engine to analyze mining activities from threat logs collected from threat sensors. Step 2. We will create a playbook that will define how iSource should respond automatically. Here we have already created one. So once the crypto mining activity is detected, the destination IP will be queried in the virus total, and iSource will send the IP block of the event source IP to the next generation firewall. Step 3. Let's use the packet player to simulate the mining activity on the Windows host. Within a few seconds, we can see threat events on the iSource web UI. The crypto coin miner activity was detected at 10:52. We can see the event source IP is 192.168.82.10. In the response record, we can confirm that the crypto coin miner event did trigger the playbook, and the actions were successfully executed. The last step, take a look at the management web UI of the next generation firewall. There has been deployed an IP block. Block traffic sourcing from 192.168.82.10. which is the IP of the compromised host. Hopefully this video gives you a better understanding of Hillstone Network's XDR solution, iSource.